On me!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the, 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 here comes the. Y'all don't really want it now.
What up? What is going down, everybody? I'm super fucking stoked because this is the first installment of IDP TV. And if you guys don't know about IDP, we're going to fucking put you up on game. So you guys already know me. I'm the fantasy football hustler. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. We're streaming on my YouTube page, the Hustler page, and then we're also streaming on the IDP Army YouTube page. So Jordan, tell everybody about you, bro, who's watching on my platforms right now.
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Hustler Nation? What's up, IDP Army? Jordan Reigns at 50 Shades of Drunk on Twitter, repping the Dynasty Nerds, repping the IDP Army tonight, ready to put on for you guys, put on a show, put up some some good information on the IDP community. Got my man Bob here, got my man John here, got my man Steve here, got Hustler here. We got other guys in there already waiting to go down. We know we got John, we got Flea Flicker. It's going to be fun, guys. So I'm excited to be here. Go sub my channel. Make sure you sub the Hustlers channel, IDP Army. You already know we're going to be putting it on. So let go.
So what's up? I'm Bob Van, the IDP man at BBABFFB on Twitter. Repping the Dynasty Rewind and Fantasy Six Pack. So check me out there. Check them out. And I'm ready to kick it off. Let's go.
I'm Steve, Dynasty Chef. I rep IDP Army and DFF Army, and I produce the YouTube channel, and I'm in the background mostly.
Hey, you help in the season? When we do the live stream, Steve's always fire out. Don't sell yourself short.
John Glosser at Glosser13 on Twitter. The team leader for the IDP team over at Dynasty Nerds. I'm excited to be with you guys tonight to kick off this mock draft and look forward to hearing what you guys got to say about some IDPs.
I'm stoked. I've never been in an IDP only league. I've never done an IDP only mock draft, but you guys know me. Like, I hate playing in team defense. Like, I'm literally rocking the fuck team defense shirt right now because that's how I roll. And I'm hoping a lot of brand new IDP peeps are gonna be getting into the game. That's what we want. More peeps in this IDP space.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Got to feed them good content. Got to get them ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah! So here goes our mock room right now. Looks like we're still 3 spots short. I mean, it is what it is. Those will probably
I'm gonna drop the link in the YouTube chat real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. And
give me 1 second.
I'm
get those other spots filled. You can probably go ahead and kick it off though.
Real quick.
Whoop.
Yeah, let's do that.
Running on a delay. Oh, Hustler beat me to it. Somebody beat me to it.
I did. It's 4:20, so I'm about to fucking smoke right now. 4:20 California time.
There you go. Trees. Oh,
there we go.
We got another one. We got another one.
Antonio got up in here.
Who do you guys think is going to go first? Bob, you got that first pick?
Yeah, what's up?
You already locked and loaded, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
I think you'll be upset at who I pick.
Oh, I don't think I'm. Well,
I think just because you won't get him.
Well, good.
Then
I'm
I know
proud.
who it
I'm
is.
happy.
Fuck Jordan, take him from Jordan. Snatch
I'm
him.
happy. You guys want to hurt me? Why does everyone want to hurt me?
Yep, Zach, we need one more to join. If you want to get in, brother, I just put the link in there. And I think even someone who doesn't know anything about IDP will probably draft better than Sleeper will right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we'll help you out. I mean, we'll just tell you, phone a friend. You got 4, 5, 6 friends in here right now. And just so you guys know, it's going to be an IDP 1, 2, 3 format. That is 1 point for assisted tackles and quarterback hits, 2 points for solo tackles. Then your tackles for loss are going to be 2 points as well. Those will stack, be 4 points. Then forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. What are the other ones? Block kicks, safeties. Those are all going to be 3-point plays. Passes defended are 3-point plays, and then your 6-point plays are going to be sacks, your interceptions, your IDP touchdowns. So that's the default scoring system we use over at Dynasty Nerds. That's what we use at IDPArmy.com. That's what all my channel stuff is generally about when I do talk about scoring. So that's what the draft's going to be. All right, looks like we're full. Let's
There we go. And I want to shout out Jordan for creating this because of the IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring. The scoring that I've been using for a while, super, super similar to what you got going on right now. I think the biggest differences were no QB hits, and the touchdowns were a little bit more on my scoring, and sack was 5 points instead of 6. But everything is super, super similar to what the scoring format that I've been playing in since 2007.
Nice. That's one thing that I noticed about it when I created it. It was very similar to a lot of the best leagues that I'd seen and played in. So, it kind of just makes sense.
And I'm always checking out your podcast, the IDP Army. I like hearing what you're throwing out there because, you're one of the only IDP heads that I actually fuck with content-wise because there's not too many people out there that do it. And it was just funny listening to you talk about how you got into a league and sacks were just 2 points and just everything was super low, and it's almost like they take team defense scoring and just move it to IDP, and that's it.
I know, and that's my big beef with it is people don't want to acknowledge that it's a problem, but I'm no, it's so obviously a problem that it's frustrating that you can't say that it's a problem. I'm not necessarily saying you have to do IDP 1, 2, 3, and I feel like I've made that abundantly clear. It's not in a lot of my proponents, people that don't like it, they're always this is my favorite scoring system. They always reference their favorite. IDP 1, 2, 3 isn't even my favorite scoring system. It's just a scoring system that I created that works. So I'm trying to come at it from an objective place, and I feel like everybody wants to put an opinion in and have a subjective reasoning behind it. That's fine. That's where the customization of a league comes in. But you got to start somewhere. You go into a bike shop, you can't ride a bike, with just the wheels and the chain. You have to have a frame. All bikes have a frame. Every bike's a little bit different, but you have to have a framework before you can, hit the streets. That's kind of an analogy I've been thinking of a lot when I think about this, and it, it just makes sense, So I'm excited for you to be adopting it. It feels like a lot more people are adopting it, which makes me really happy. It's kind of, proof of concept. So that's been really fun to see happen. And, it's just been really cool to see it be adopted by the community.
My thoughts are offense. We only have a couple different types of, scoring platform, bases to go off of. Let's just call it that because I adjust pretty much every league scoring that I do. But you got 0.5 PPR, you got standard, you got 1 point PPR. And really, that's it. There's 3 scoring, bases to go off of. And right now, with no base in IDP, it makes it hard just for people to start. Where the fuck do I start from? I've never even done this before.
Mm-hmm. And then when somebody's trying to tell you that a shitty league is an okay thing, that bothers me too. You shouldn't be telling people that shitty league they're in is okay. You should be directing them towards a better way to play IDP so they actually stick around and actually enjoy themselves. And then let them figure it out later. But
I take a bunch of questions and answers every single week, and everybody knows that my motto is fuck team defense. So before they ask me a question about defense, they're always I know, fuck team defense, but can you please help me?
Yeah, but you should quit that league. All right, we're gonna start this draft. I guess that's on me, right?
Yep.
All right, we're on.
All right.
And I'm glad Luke Kuechly is not number 1 on the list. I got to throw that out there. That was so annoying last year.
I might still draft him.
Dude, that was so annoying last year. Sleeper. And that's the other thing, too. As more people come into IDP, it will get better by default because, people are going to ask for these things to be fixed. So, All right, Bob.
So, I don't know how I'm going to draft anyone besides the rightful 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt.
Yes, sir. Batting 1,000 already.
between his DL eligibility and linebacker, you can't go too wrong there.
No, I'm gonna take the other best IDP player in the game, Darius Leonard. I don't really feel like I need to explain myself, but those are the top 2 IDP players. They should be the first 2 taken in pretty much all of your drafts, unless it's the next guy, Devin White. So,
Yep, he was the other one on my radar.
I can't believe that he had such a good season in his second year. I mean, he was the number 1 linebacker in his second year in the league.
He's a fucking stud. Like, I mean, we saw the writing on the wall last year. He's just so fucking fast, and he is always around the ball.
Yeah. And they blitzed him so much this year. And I mean, he got home because when you're, they're blocking Shaq Barrett and JPP and Sue. I mean, Devin White can just run straight through there. And like you said, he's so fast, he just gets home before QB has a chance to do anything. All right, what we got going on here? A bunch of linebackers going up early. I like that. Yep. My 0 DL heads out here.
It's looking that way, isn't it? Jamal Adams.
Oh,
there we go.
Getting saucy. Getting a little saucy. Fave channel on YouTube. I got that comment over here. I'm not used to not being like the one pushing all the knobs and whistles over here, Hustler.
Makes it a little easier, right?
It does, but it's also like I get to just sit. Weird. I mean, not that I have a problem sitting and talking, but I feel like I just have nothing to do except watch this draft.
And Antonio, who joined the draft, said also fuck kickers. That's something I'm getting behind. If you're playing a league with kickers, I'm always going to talk shit about you.
I like kickers. Why do people hate kickers? Why? Tell me why.
DraftKings hates them. I think that.
Well, that's because DraftKings can't make no fucking money off of them. That's why they hate them.
Let me take my pick here real quick before I get auto picked. Where are we gonna go? Actually,
Nick Bosa by Gloss. Big Bosa. He took little Bosa, huh?
Baby Bosa.
Smoking on that Buddha.
Ooh, I like it. Who's next? Steve. Have you guys heard from Iggy at all?
Nope.
No.
He said he was doing some stuff, but. So what do you guys think about Jamal Adams versus Budda Baker? I mean, they both just went in the first round. Obviously, they're kind of the first 2 guys off the board, but I mean, do you guys have Jamal Adams as your 1, or does anybody have Budda as their 1?
Budda's still my number 1. He was my number 1 last year, and it was crazy how much like shit I got for that. I mean, really the top 4 guys were kind of, the consensus the same, and I was really strong behind Budda, and I still am. The guy's just a tackling machine. It's got that tackling fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jamal Adams getting 9 sacks.
Yeah, Adams for me still. I think they're very close, but I'd get to Adams. I think Budda only got him by roughly 30 points in IDP 1, 2, 3 scoring, and Adams missed almost half the season, right?
He missed a good chunk. It was like 3 or 4 games, and it wasn't negligible. And he still put himself up there. I'm with you. Nothing against Budda Baker. I love him, and he is definitely my number 2. But just the fact that Adams gets used the way that he does now, and it's not like a will he get used that way question now. It's we know he will get used that way. Because nothing changes in Seattle. That's another thing I love. That's one thing I love about Seattle. Nothing changes there. I mean, maybe a player or 2 changes here and there, but for the most part, we kind of can predict how they're going to run their defense, how they're going to run their offense, and Jamal Adams is going to get blitzed a shit ton again, and he's going to get home a shit ton again, and he's going to keep his tackle floor. He basically put up like 5 solos a game this year. Like, that's insanity, just on top of the fact that he basically had a sack every game.
Speaking on Seattle, their number 1 and 2 corner, they're both, I mean, they could be leaving. They're both free agents. KJ Wright, free agent. You think all 3 of those guys stay? You think any of them go? Does it affect the defense one way or the other?
I mean, I think I could see them letting Wright walk. The corners, I think they got to keep one of them, but it'll kind of, who knows? I mean, I think Wright leaving, that could open up the door for Brooks to get some time. But
yeah, but who would be the 3rd guy then? Cody Barton? Isn't he like pretty not great?
He's fine. I mean, I can't say I've watched him, but whenever he's played and got full time, he's racked up tackles and made plays. So, I mean, who knows? Up in the air.
You know, it's crazy. KJ Wright, like Loki, had a great season.
Yeah.
He had 27 impact plays, which when I saw that number, it kind of like blew me away. I didn't like think of him as having that kind of season, really. Let me look here and see exactly what he had. I mean, he had 11 tackles for loss and 10 pass deflections. I mean, that's 20 impact plays right there. That's not even counting any of his tackles. I mean, Budda Baker didn't have 20 impact plays all season. He had 18. So it kind of blew my mind when I saw that. I think it was one of his better seasons in that department too. But it doesn't feel like that about him this last year.
And now that's Garbage is up in the building. Said, let's go. Favorite channel on YouTube.
Yes, sir. You talking about my channel or yours?
I'm not sure because we're on 2 YouTube channels right now.
Talking about both.
There we go.
So we're both just his favorite. How about that? Make sure that everyone watching is signed up on IDP Army YouTube channel and Fantasy Football Hustler YouTube channel.
Yeah. So, John, you took Jalen Smith. Hustler, you took Joe Schobert. Steve, you took Cunningham. I like all these picks.
You don't like Eric Wilson in the first round, don't lie.
No.
So, and that's someone who that's my homie Zach, who's up in YouTube, who doesn't really know anything about IDP. He was like, "You guys need an extra person, I'll jump in." So he doesn't know too much about IDP. He even said earlier, "I don't know what the fuck I signed up for."
John, you over here like pulling your hair out? Oh my gosh! Hey, I mean, Eric Wilson balled out this year.
He did.
Yeah.
Balled out this year.
He's a free agent too, right?
I think he is.
He is.
They'd be stupid not to sign him. He's basically their best defender at this point.
I mean, but they still have Anthony Barr on, who he filled in for, signed up for at least 2 more years. I'm in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
John with the B-Wags. John going with the Seattle stack here, the Bobby Wagner, Jamal Adams stack.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it. Zach, let's give Zach some tidbits here. Zach, if you're listening
Myles
to
Garrett.
this, is he available?
No, he got taken.
Take Zadarius Smith, Zach.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, don't, because I need more DLs to like fall so that I can like, 0 DLs a thing. But I mean, this draft kind of is proving it. I mean, we've seen only 3 DLs go, and we've seen like a lot of people taking linebackers.
Yeah.
But defensive line scoring was down across the board this year. The sack numbers were down across the board this year too. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Actually, John, who's in here with us right now, he and I, we work together. We've been talking, or he brought up, his theory is essentially that all these defensive backs are getting blitzed so much more and they're getting home. You look at Hilton, you look at Adams, you look at Chuck Clark. I mean, you look at Harrison Smith. I mean, these guys, you look at Malcolm Butler and Logan Ryan. These guys are getting blitzed a lot more. These corners are. Marlon Humphreys had 2.5 sacks this year. I mean, corners are blitzing more, and that's taking some of these sacks away from these defensive linemen. At least that's our theory.
And like tackles, I know that. I mean, it's weird when people say I don't want the guys on the same team because there's one guy's going to get more tackles than the other or whatever. But like sacks, that's actually something where that doesn't happen too much in a game. So if you got a safety that's taken away 1 to 2 sacks a game, when your team may only get 3 for the game or something, if that takes away from the line.
Yeah, it does, big time. Oh man, I'm scrolling.
I like that Jeremy Chin in the 2nd round and the third guy off the board for DBs. That's a good pick, man. He's such a stud.
I'm a big Chin fan. He was my rookie DB1, and I love him.
That's not on brand for me to take Edmonds there, but I think he's going to bounce back in a big way.
Really?
I do. Bobby bastard.
What's your beef with Edmonds?
I don't have a beef with Edmonds. I thought it was an interesting pick by him.
Come on, Bob.
Sorry, bro.
I'm so
yeah, we know Jordan loves him some Jabril Peppers.
I'm so mad right now. All right, I can make it through this. I can bounce back, guys. Don't worry about me.
I believe in you.
Oh man, I'm freaking
and
out.
Michael's up in the building. Said, "Evening, gentlemen."
What up? All right.
And Antonio 420 also said he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But we needed to fill some spots, so he jumped in. He's not starting off too bad with Levante David and Patrick Queen.
Could be a lot worse. So could have Jerome Baker in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Iggy, sorry.
Michael said Bob isn't sorry.
I kind of am, but at least
Did someone already draft Jesse Bates?
No.
I couldn't find him, and I typed his name in, and like it wasn't coming up.
Far down the list.
Is he?
Yeah, he's on there.
Well,
That's another thing that sucks about just IDP in general. If you got a super short clock, there's just no
you gotta get your queue sorted out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I made sure I put Jesse Bates on my list if he makes it that far. I don't know.
All right, we're in the third round. We still got some quality players coming off the board. I mean, Jordan Poyer was the number 2 overall defensive back. Got him in the third round here. That's a good. I mean, I like that. I like that.
So Stu here said, I don't know much yet about here, but a Cowboys fan, Jalen Smith, I'd be weary if they have if he may have some stats, but his tackles were mostly downfield. He sucked most of the year in real life, and even talks about Dallas.
Sure.
I still think Jalen Smith. I mean, he's easily going to be in the top 10 of linebackers. Just too much opportunity there, and as long as he stays healthy, I mean,
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a top 10 linebacker the past 3 seasons. And yeah, he didn't play great this year or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he got paid. He's gonna get the playing time. They just brought in the OC, Dan Quinn or whatever, or the defensive coordinator. My thing I said on the show for the linebacker show I just did on our show, Deion Jones had 25 impact plays. He rushed the passer more this year than he ever has. And now his OC, his coach is the OC there. I think that Jalen Smith's going to have a big year, personally.
And even if even if guys look like they suck in the NFL, doesn't mean that they're bad in fantasy. Like the best cornerbacks to own are usually the ones who get torched on a normal basis.
Yeah. Or they're not lockdown guys. Speaking of rookies, Patrick Surtain, he's not a lockdown guy, but he's a guy who, he might give up a pass here and there, but he's on you like white on rice after that, and he will tackle you through the ground. And that's why I like him as a corner prospect, and I'm not a big corner guy. So
I like Jalen Ramsey. He's cool.
As like a real life guy?
Yeah, he's got swag for days.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just wanted to clarify.
And I like putting guys that I like on my teams. Like I've got him. Like I know he sucks for IDP, but it's like if I'm like streaming a corner or a defensive back, and I just like don't want to go to the waivers, I just like I like Jalen Ramsey. Like maybe he'll get a pick this week, and I just like put him in my lineup. Like I still like having guys like that on my team. Like maybe that's not great IDP analysis, but it is.
No, I mean you're more invested that way, and it's like
exactly.
If even if they're not the best player, but you're like excited when they actually do something, or you're on your team. Like I wasn't a big Kirksey fan coming into the season, but I'm a Packer guy, so I liked having
Kirksey on your team
to cheer for. Because there's other than I didn't have a chance at Smith in many leagues, but I was able to snag Kirksey in a lot.
So what we got going on here, man? Steve's up here slaying this draft.
You got Jesse Bates on you, so
I know. I literally am so mad I didn't get him. So Danielle Hunter in the third round. John, talk us through that.
The bounce back is coming. I honestly think Hunter would have probably tried to come back if Minnesota was any kind of good. But I think the Yannick experiment, and I think he'll be fine. He's going to bounce back. I still have him. I think it's at my top 5 overall for fantasy IDP.
It's impossible for him to not bounce back, right? Like last year,
exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, I It's
bold.
You're on the
No,
clock, John.
I just mean, fuck. He was such a big disappointment last year for just DL1 all the way, and everything was just, I don't know. They never let the cat out of the bag, and that's what sucked the most. Like, we didn't know anything was wrong with him until like the very end of the offseason almost.
Yeah, 2020 was a very odd year. I think the bounce backs of guys that did get hurt didn't play at all, like Hunter and even Chandler Jones coming back. I mean, a little bit older.
Yeah.
But
Well, Chandler Jones played like 5 games. He just didn't do anything.
Yeah, true.
And Mitchell just asked that. Will Chandler Jones bounce back?
I think he has a chance to.
Yeah.
And at his price, you kind of need to be drafting him. Like, full disclosure, I am targeting him in this draft. But that's because I'm going to get him in like the 6th or 7th round, thus proving that 0 DL is viable.
And Mitchell also asked about feelings on Yannick.
Dude, I love Yannick. He had the weirdest year ever. I mean, he was like 3 weeks before the season started, he was in Jacksonville. Shit show. Leaves Jacksonville, goes to the Vikings. They were a shit show to start the season. Then he got traded right in the middle of the season again. After being with Jacksonville for like 4 or 5 years, he gets traded twice in like 8 weeks. Goes to the Ravens. He still did some numbers, but I mean, it was a very odd year for him. His snaps were all over. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying he's getting traded all over the place, learning new schemes and everything.
Yeah.
You can't expect a whole lot of numbers.
Exactly. And I think that's just kind of how it is.
Devin Bush at the end of the 4th just seems like such a steal.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I was looking at him earlier.
He was in my queue, so.
He was awful last year, though. He was horrendously.
Well, he only played a couple of games. Listen, here's the thing. You forget. I was going through some of my bookmark tweets yesterday, and somebody in week 4 or 5 was like, I'm done playing. We forget people were like, I'm done playing Devin White because he had a couple weeks where he didn't do shit. And we were just like, oh, he sucks. Like, that was a thing this season. So, like, Devin Bush could have had the same thing. He'd had a shitty start to the season, but it could have turned around. He just didn't get exactly. Jabril Peppers put up like 20 points the first 5 weeks of the season, and then he had like 25 points like 7 weeks in a row. So
I think for what he does for real football, the Steelers really, really, really missed him. Like, they could not find a replacement.
No, yeah. Avery Williamson was not.
Yeah, in terms of IDP production, though, he was very sad. Made me very sad, I should say.
All right, I know I'm taking forever, guys. It's because I don't want to mess this pick up.
Shame on you, Jordan. Shame on you.
Marlon Humphrey taking my guy.
Nice.
Yeah, you like
one of my favorite corners. Probably just one of my favorite defensive players. He does not get anywhere near the love he needs in IDP. I don't give a poo-poo if he is a cornerback or not. He's been a top 25 guy 2 years in a row. He missed games this year too, and he was like top 10. Also, something I found really curious this year was like in the top 10 defensive backs, there was like 3 corners. There was like Malcolm Butler, there was Humphrey, and there was Kenny Moore. And there was like 5 free safeties. It was like Justin Simmons. It was who were the other free safeties? Jordan Poyer played mostly free safety this year. Buda Baker played mostly free safety this year. It was a bunch of guys that are like free safeties, which in IDP you often hear only box safeties matter. I think that's kind of not a fair
narrative that needs to kind of die out a little bit.
At least be challenged, at the very least, because it really isn't a real thing. But I don't know how many more challenges I can put out to the IDP community, boys. I need somebody else to get out here and start fighting some wars. Look, JJ Watt, you got a top 10 guy, a top 10 defensive lineman in basically the 5th round. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to take an early DL. I could take Khalil Mack here or somebody else, but I'm not. Like, I'm just going to keep rolling with other positions, and I will end up eventually with a defensive lineman, and he'll be pretty fucking good. and it'll be a lot later than, I don't know. I don't want to blast anybody, but somebody who took one earlier than me. What are your thoughts on Landon Collins? I feel like that's kind of a gutsy pick.
He's my favorite IDP player, so I didn't want to pass him up there. But I'm worried, where he's going to come back at or how he's going to come back. So I mean, absolutely gutsy pick, but kind of go get your guy pick for me. So
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Who's up? Flea, what you gonna do? I think everyone in here, if you're watching on the YouTubes and all that, you should be following everyone on, the socials. There's a lot of IDP heads in this group chat and in this mock draft and all that. So there's more information coming and going between us on Twitter and all that. So good place to study up for anybody that. Oh my gosh, Montez Sweat in the 5th round. Like, talk about a steal. Nice. And why would you take? I'm sorry, I don't want to do this, but why would you take Myles Garrett in the 1st, Steve? Montez Sweat had one less point than him this year. Okay. That's why 0 DL is. I don't know. I'm just gonna make it a thing. Hey, we need to make some 0 DL shirts, Hustler.
Hey, we can't all follow 0 DL. We have to mix it up, right?
You're right. I appreciate what you did, Steve. Steve fell on his sword for us.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Antonio said he's got to follow the IDP channel.
The IDP Army. Look us up on YouTube.
There you go.
The IDP Army.
Like, subscribe.
You guys are giving me steals, and people act like IDP gets so shallow so soon. Like, we're late in this draft, and people are. I mean, let's talk about the top guys that went in this round. We had Montez Sweat, JJ Watt, both went in the last 10 picks. They were both top 10 guys. Marlon Humphrey in the 4th and 5th round, you're still getting top tier guys in IDP. That's crazy. DeForest Buckner, another top 10 DL, 5th round. Keanu Neal. Nice.
Does anybody not have a position yet besides Jordan?
I don't have a DL yet.
I didn't have a DL until now. Just got one.
And people were drafting Cam Jordan. He finally gets taken there by Hustler. I mean, he was taken as a top 5 or 6 defensive lineman last year, and he did not pan out. Like, he was a huge bust.
Not for the price, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just another reason to just punt and go for the upside late. And honestly, this draft has been, I mean, it looks like a real draft to me, minus the Ryan Neal pick. Well, I guess in the Sean Williams pick. Do you guys think Sean Williams will land somewhere? I mean, he was having 2 good years in a row before this last year.
Who's that?
Sean Williams.
I don't know. Ain't he getting kind of up there?
I think he's only like 27 or 28. And
Yeah,
the safeties can be really good old.
I know. I think he's older than that, but yeah, I mean, he kind of got.
Let me see.
Was he hurt this year?
No, they just brought in Von Bell. Remember?
Okay, yeah.
That was like the whole thing.
I couldn't remember if he was supposed to be in the mix and just wasn't, or if he had gotten hurt. But so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what he does because he was a stud for a while, alongside Bates there for his rookie year. So
it's tough with safeties. I feel like I think we all jumped on the Clinton Dix being something, and then he didn't even end up playing football last year. So it's just it's tough. I feel like, especially with a lot of teams just lean youth, when it comes to safety. So
I feel like it's a position that's worth paying up for, just for the security at least, Like the teams where you have a guy like Buda Baker or Jordan Poyer, it just feels more comfortable than having like Kevin Byard or even Honey Badger kind of. I don't really love having Honey Badger in my lineup necessarily.
Burns was a steal there too. Oh boy,
Yeah.
I might have missed him.
This sleeper ADP getting us pretty
it's
hard
not
here.
great.
Great looks.
But there hasn't been any like really, really bad picks either.
That's true.
I mean, there's nothing that I've been like, oh, that was a huge reach.
The auto draft that's going on Iggy's side is painful to watch. How do you guys feel about that? A little bit of talk about making 3 cornerbacks the kind of a thing, and not like standard, but in your standard positions now, instead of allowing 3 DBs to turn them to cornerbacks and safeties. So I think the rise of the Mike Hiltons and the Teron Johnsons and stuff like that. How do you guys feel about that? Because like those tackling corners, kind of like you guys mentioned before with Jalen Ramsey and Patrick Surtain's son. I don't know, those guys are. AJ Terrell was a guy that a lot of people read on the Falcons for taking. And in terms of real corner, I'm not sure how he graded out, but in terms of fantasy football, he was as good as they come. He had a couple 10+ tackle games, if I remember correctly.
It's a good pick.
Damn.
So what format is this, John? You're talking about 3? Are you talking about just making 3 safeties?
Yeah, it's just kind of like so when you're just kind of flexing DBs, we know kind of, as we mentioned before, that we're always starting safeties instead of the corners, but making it mandatory, maybe 3 cornerbacks, the way the NFL has shifted to a lot of these nickel defenses. And
so what would that look like in an IDP setup then? Like just
I think instead of your
3 corners
DBs, and then 2 safeties maybe, I think would probably be the
so you play 5 total defensive backs?
Yeah, I think that's what it would be if that's where I didn't really like dig too deep into it. Just kind of, I think it was more of a, what do you guys think of, like, you should have positions instead of just D-line, DB, linebacker.
The generic spots.
Yeah,
I'm fine. I mean, I like those. But I mean, again, it's just another barrier of entry in my mind. I mean, Sleeper obviously is the most intuitive and pragmatic sort of platform. Maybe people don't love it, but it isn't performing well because it is shit like some people like to say it is. And they're choosing to move forward with 3 positions because that brings more people to their platform. So I'm fine with either or. I don't really care. But I play most of mine on Sleepers, so I usually stick to just the 3. All right, I'm gonna take Yannick in the 7th, my first defensive lineman.
Wow.
What are you saying wow for, Steve?
All the defensive linemen you passed up.
What, you think I'm going to take Frank Clark there?
No, I'm not saying right there that you let go by. Like
there's not a lot of. Well, I didn't Montez. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm just trying to prove a point.
I know you are
viable. Shit, there's 2 guys right there. I mean, Harold Landry, another top 10 guy in the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never drafting a defensive lineman again. That's what I never.
I mean, but I have to think that if this was stacked more appropriately with the ADP and everything, that these guys wouldn't be here because.
No, I believe it.
I don't know about all that.
The
Sweat for
ADP's
sure.
garbage on sleeper.
It's
Like you have to look so
trash.
fucking far.
But look at the order the defensive linemen still went in, though. I mean, do you think he would have been taken before like Danielle Hunter? I mean, even that he went in almost the 4th round where Danielle Hunter went. I mean, even the big dogs were slipping. So you could get a big dog late. I mean, not even late, just a mid-round big dog. You can get Zadarius Smith, 2 overall. Jason Pierre-Paul, 4th round. Both those guys were top 3. So you could even get a mid-round big dog. So you could, in theory, someone could have stacked Joe Schobert and Zach Cunningham, 2 top 10 guys, and then they could have come back and gotten Jason Pierre-Paul and Zadarius Smith. They could have had 4 top 4 guys. In theory. I mean, they could have from this last season. Right there. That's just wild to me.
Yep.
Is Max Crosby hot garbage?
It sure seems that way.
He had the one good season, huh? And then, well, I guess he's had 2 seasons. So is he the good Max Crosby or is he the bad Max Crosby?
Yeah, or is he somewhere in the middle?
Yeah,
I think
You
he's
know,
hot
in the middle.
garbage.
They got who is it? Gus Bradley coming in,
Mm-hmm.
I think. So it's got to be an upgrade over whoever the heck they had. So maybe that does something for him.
He's there to fix Max Crosby.
Yeah. Hey, whatever it takes, man.
I think Max Crosby gets kind of a bad rep. I mean, he's not. He's not upper echelon. I don't think anybody believes that. But I mean, as far as just to go get some, like, just go to work kind of defensive lineman, I mean, he never quits. He never puts off the gas. He's got such long arms, which are just like, I feel like they're always up in the air, which I love for batted passes. He had 14 tackles for loss this year, which is the same as Aaron Donald, who everyone loves to anoint and exalt as the Lord on high. So take that as you will. I know the box score isn't a deep advanced metric, but I like the box score. Just fine for me. Alex Singleton, there's another crazy player kind of going late. What do you guys think about him? Are they going to keep him there as like their main guy for the Eagles?
I mean, there's definitely a chance. I mean, unless they draft somebody or bring somebody in a free agency, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, he actually, seemed to kind of shine in that role, whereas Nate Gary just kind of, sucked, for lack of a better word. Singleton was okay in coverage and, was a sure enough tackler to keep the role, I think. So unless something falls to him in the draft at a good spot, or they can add somebody cheap in free agency, why not roll with him? He's a cheap contract right now, so.
I got a question for you guys.
Oh my gosh, John.
Yeah, that's a good one. One.
I got a question for you guys. I just took Daniel Sorensen, and that play with him and Rashard Higgins, like at the goal line, that was a huge topic on social media, and there's a lot of salty Browns fans out there.
Imagine
I
that.
think it was a good no call. What do you guys think about that play?
I thought it was a good no call too.
Yeah.
Can't call.
Daniel Sorensen's Daniel Sorensen's a playmaker. That's what he does. I mean, the Chiefs made the Super Bowl last year because of Daniel Sorensen. And they did. I mean, again, this year, big play, massively underrated. And I think that play was, it was a fair play. I mean, he played like that all season. Just let him play.
Yeah.
Stone Guy 14 said Sorensen didn't get penalized because he's white.
I didn't know we were going to get controversial today.
Oh, man.
If it was only that simple. It's actually a much bigger conspiracy just so that Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes could play in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. That's what it was.
Oh, shit, I hear them. They're coming. Guys.
All right,
Chandler
and Antonio,
Jones going that late.
That was fucking really late.
Antonio, dude, this is bad, man. Like, this is bad. No, I'm just kidding. Which one is Antonio? He's 8.
Antonio 420. He took Levante David with his first round pick.
What
Oh
do you guys
shit!
think?
Hold on. There we go. There we go.
Not bad.
Yeah, I like that team. I mean, Levante David's a stud.
Yep.
I mean, he's a 5-star badass mofo. And Patrick Queen, I ate crow with Patrick Queen this year.
Mm-hmm.
I ate crow with Devin White this year too. So don't listen to anything I say.
I was surprised by him. I mean, we already knew that he was going to be a baller, but I don't know. I think he exceeded expectations. And
Oh yeah, massively. All right, I guess I'll take my second defensive lineman here. I got to really. Should I take? Oh, I don't know. The number 2 overall sack leader from this season.
Gasps.
Gasps. I actually hate my team, but no, I don't. Darius Leonard's amazing. I love CJ Mosley. It's a ballsy pick. And Willie Gay. Back to me. What do I got to do here? I need a defensive lineman.
You sure you could punt them one more round?
One more round.
I could.
is it really 0 DL if that's not your last pick?
I know, right? I just need to string the position straight off a waiver every week. All 3 of them. I'm not even really committed. Oh, man. There really aren't very many good ones left. Just why? Oh, I know who's out there still. My next pick is going to shock people.
Everybody get your shock face ready.
Shocked.
Ooh, Winnow. Love it.
Shock. I knew he would be out there. He was just floating out there. I said, come here, little buddy.
I like the next pick better.
And you know what?
Yeah, honestly, I definitely like Williams better.
That's not even who I should have picked. Quentin Williams, I should have picked him or Justin Houston, who's also on the board. I did not see him. That was a mistake. Mistakes happen in drafts. Just FYI, they happen in real drafts too. Sometimes they work out to your advantage, though. Like this year in a redraft league, I meant to draft DJ Chark, and I accidentally clicked DK Metcalf, and I was actually really happy that happened later in the season. But when it happened, I was pissed. I was like, I want DJ Chark. And I was like gonna bitch about it to the commissioner because he's like sitting right next to me, and I was just like, I'm not even gonna make a thing out of it. I was like, this is just life. Like this is my life now. Like I don't have DJ Chark. Man, Kari Willis that late. All right, hey guys, Caleb is actually our new like social media manager, dude, for the IDP Army. He's killing this draft from that 4 spot, just murking it. Man, Kari Willis that late. I love that pick. John Fisher.
Down to the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody say something profound.
Something profound.
Got it. Nailed it. Book it.
Did it.
I sure hope you like my next pick.
You know what's crazy is there's still like some straight up certified hitters on the board, like for real. Cameron Hayward's on the board, Tyrell Adams on the board, Justin Houston's on the board, Christian Kirksey's on the board.
Bam, Cameron Hayward goes.
Cameron Hayward's gone now. But I mean, those guys are all legit. I don't think I've seen Rashawn Evans go yet either.
And Jordan, you just stole someone's guy.
Me?
So you still chase one of it from somebody.
Guy.
I'm sorry. Sorry, man.
No, you're not.
Chase Winnow. I'll trade him to you. I don't even really want him. Yo. Well, we're getting ready, close to wrapping this thing up. This has definitely been a fun experience. We got any more comments coming in? I don't know how many people from the IDP Army are watching or whatever, but I think this is going to be something we could probably do once a month, once every 6 weeks or something.
We got to shoot for once a month. People love mock drafts. We love doing them. we got to dedicate at least an hour a month. We can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is gonna produce like legitimate, good ADP reference points too. We'll be able to look at this and we'll be able to pull it up next to the one we do in a month and see, movers. And it'll be interesting to see if and how much sleepers ADP changes between now and then. Because I am interested to see, because like they should be dumping in the rookies and stuff pretty soon for their mocks, right? So that'll probably get like a whole system update soon. So maybe the next draft, Yannick won't be there in the 7th or something. I don't know.
Probably right after the Super Bowl. That's what I'm assuming, right? That's when they'll probably update with all the rookies.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometime around then, because that's probably when they'll have the lowest amount of people like on the platform. Or it could be the opposite. I mean, maybe they just get a whole influx of new people.
I think they're working on it because they reached out to the Devi team at Dynasty Nerds for the early declarations. So I think they already probably have the guys in the system just waiting to release it, I would imagine.
Nice. Just waiting to hit the big red button. All right, what's my team look like? I just gotta get a flex guy, huh? Who's the ultimate flex here at the end of this draft? I know who I'm gonna pick already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you're gonna snipe me.
I bet I won't, Bob. I'm pretty confident that I won't.
I bet you will.
I mean, if Justin Houston's still there, I'm gonna take him.
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay.
Oh, I was hoping he'd be there.
If you, all right, I know who it is. I'm probably not gonna snipe you.
We'll see. I got 2 picks lined up. So.
My guy goes hard in the paint. Who's choking over here? Oh.
I'm smoking.
Choking and smoking. Smoking and choking. All right, I'm going to take the mullet man.
Okay, hey, that's not my guy.
Cole Holcomb. Who'd you take?
Sean Evans.
Oh, that's who I should have taken. He was my guy coming into the season. The Mr. Irrelevant was my guy coming into the season. That's actually super off brand for me. I fucked up. Oh well.
Yeah,
nice.
Expecting bigger things out of him last year, that's for sure.
He didn't do as bad as you would think he did. People love to hate on Rashaan Evans. It's like a thing. Like it's a real thing.
He was hyped in my own mind, I guess. I just expected big things with him. I mean, the coaches came out and said that he was going to be rushing the passer a lot more. And I don't know.
Yeah, that didn't happen. He actually got like his career low tackles for loss this season. He was barely behind the line of scrimmage, but he did put up career numbers in pass deflection. I think he had 7 this year. So I think he only has like 3 his whole career before. So, I mean, he did show improvement in other areas and he still was able to put himself. I mean, he was still a weekly play.
I feel like I did that with John Johnson. Hyped him up in my own mind and he let me down real big. And
yeah, that was, it's interesting too. I said earlier, I mean, John Johnson played mostly straight box safety this year and he had like the worst season of his career. So I don't know. I think the free safety, box safety narrative is kind of reductive as well. But that doesn't really explain why John Johnson didn't really succeed in my mind either, because he's a good player. He just didn't get any tackles this year.
Who's the biggest steal in the draft? Who's someone who comes to mind after just looking at all the teams here now?
TJ Watt at 101.
biggest steal.
I think Montez Sweat at 5'4" is the steal of the draft.
It's got my vote.
Buckner at 5'7". I mean, I was hoping that he would fall to me, and then I didn't know what to do, and I just fucking took Cam Jordan.
Yeah, Buckner 5'7" is pretty legit. Honestly, Rashaan Evans, a guy you can play every single week as the last pick, is a pretty big steal. John,
what do you think? 6'9", it's another person.
Brian Burns 6'6" too. That's a pretty big steal.
Yeah, I think all those.
Burns sticks out to me. Chandler Jones sticks out to me as well. I think that one's a thievery. Kier Willis too. That's dirty at 9'4". I mean, I know he's a safety, or a DB, but I mean, in that group of players right there, I think he's it's plug and play production.
Nice. Yeah, Kari Willis, that late is definitely a big pick. That was fun. That was super fun.
A blast.
Hell yeah.
Thanks to everybody who hopped in here with us. Thanks, Caleb. Thanks, John, Zach, Antonio, Iggy, everybody.
Hey, maybe we can send some of this data to Sleeper, help him out.
Yeah.
Sleeper,
I'm sure they don't get enough emails every day.
Sleeper needs to hire the whole IDP TV, just channel to be their source of IDP.
Dude, I mean, they've got the people are willing to help. They just need to reach out. We would love to get more good information. So my entire draft was a steal.
Exactly.
I mean, pretty damn close, son. And Joey Bosa even just in the third is just like, I know I'm Mr. Zero DL, but I would have taken Joey Bosa in the third probably. That's a good pick. All right.
That was awesome. Why don't we just go in reverse order of when we let's get this off of here. And everybody let's start with Steven. Why don't we just tell everybody where to find you at once again and just do a little round robin again.
You can find me. Well, I produce for the IDP Army YouTube channel. You'll find me on there, posting comments or posting replies to the comments most of the time, and I write a little bit for the DFF Army.
Nice.
John Glosser at Glosser13 on Twitter. Dynasty Nerds, the IDP profiles have been coming out like crazy. We're going to keep working on those. Have mock drafts for IDP, just similar to this, every month leading up to the NFL draft. We're going to go back to those super flexes mixed with IDP to really give people that, that gauge of where guys should be going or where guys will be going pre-draft. So be on the lookout for those. And I had a blast again. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm Bob Van, the IDP man. You can find me at bbab_FFB on Twitter. I do a lot of my work at Fantasy Six Pack, and then you can also find me contributing at Dynasty Rewind.
Yes, sir. And it's Jordan Rains. I write for Dynasty Nerds and do a little YouTube shows over there. And then also my man Steve and I, we run the IDP Army channel and the IDP Army website. So check that out. Appreciate you guys jumping on the mock with us. Appreciate Hustler for having our community join his community. It's always fun to, do something cool like this and, produce some good high quality content that we're going to be able to look back on over the next couple of months and, pull things from it that are going to make us sharper, when the season comes around soon. So appreciate that. And I'm excited for the next one.
Oh yeah, me too. And Antonio says he's about to go follow IDP TV. That's just a series that's going to be happening on the Fantasy Football Hustler YouTube channel, on the IDP Army YouTube channel, and really IDP TV is going to be. I mean, it's all five of us who are here now, plus a handful of other guys, and we're just going to be producing a grip of content, up until the season and even during the season. So I'm excited to be collabing with everybody here and bringing IDP to the norm because that's where it fucking needs to be.
Amen. Amen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Well, it was fun. Everybody who's not following me, it's at FF Hustler 420 everywhere on social media and Fantasy Football Hustler on YouTube and every podcast out there. Really appreciate everybody coming and getting down on the draft. And we got to do this every single month. Every month I'm down.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
All right, IDP Army, nothing but love. See you next week or later on this week. Keep an eye out on all the channels. We'll be pumping it out. So go
Peace out,
Chiefs.
everybody.
Later, guys.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
Here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the, here comes the.